What up, guys? Today's video, I want to talk about literally the main reason why I've been having so many issues with my risk management approach, why I've been changing so much. And I'm doing this video mainly because you guys have been consistently asking through my DMs why I changed from 1 to 3 risk reward to 1 to 1 risk reward, then back to 1 to 3 risk reward. And I want to just clarify everything because at the end, this is the main purpose. I'm creating content to document my journey, and I feel it's super important to just document why I'm having this issue lately. So I'm literally decided to open my trading journal because it has a lot to do with my trading journal, like my live trading journal from this year. So first of all, I just want to kind of like explain what happened. First, you guys understand that I've been trading with 1 to 3 reward since I started swing trading, and I started the year with 1 to 3 reward. Everything was great. You guys can see basically by the performance by month. 5R in January, 4R in February, minus 6R in March. We had a tough month in March, and it kept going and going and going, and everything with 1 to 3 reward. What happens? Well, on July and May, it's when everything kind of like started changing for me, and I started having a lot of difficulties and a lot of thoughts that I started kind of like changing, not my approach or not the way I'm trading, but mostly the way I'm approaching risk. Because I realized that there was an issue with my trading performance and my trading approach in terms of how aggressive I was and how I was actually noticing negative factors and negative variables by being so aggressive in the markets. So I started to kind of like adjust and tweak some stuff related to risk management. So in simple words, January, I had a good month. Let me actually open my journal input. So on January, we can see that I took a couple of trades, not too many. We ended up in a good profit for the month. Then same thing in February, same amount of trades, almost same amount of trades. March, I started increasing my my repetition. So my frequency started to increase on March. And this was actually my first negative month for the year. You guys can see that I had a lot of trades and a lot of stop losses. Then April arrived. We ended up this month with good results. I ended up the month in profit in exactly 9R, which was so far the best month of 2025. And you guys can see I decreased the frequency and I kind of like took the same amount of trades as January and February. And then this is when everything clicked for me. And this is literally the main reason why everything started to change and started to have these thoughts. You guys can see May, how many trades I took. I took over 50 trades in just 1 month. For those who don't trade swing trading, or for those who don't trade this approach, or just trade like New York session 1 pair only and 1 trade per day, when you guys are taking 50 trades per month, and let's say for example I just take my phone and I divide 50 divided by 4, 12.5. So it's literally taking 12.5 trades per week in average, which means that every single day, if it's 12.5 divided by by 5, so 12.5 because it's 5 trading days in a week. So it's around 2.5 trades per day. And that basically means that I was consistently in the charts every single day every single time of the day, checking for new setups, for new pending orders that I had to set it up on my MT5, and I was spending a lot of time in the charts. So this is the first moment when I realized, oh, okay, I took a lot of trades. In paper, I ended up in minus 3R, but in reality, considering that I'm trading personal capital as well, and with a regulated broker and stuff, I ended up the month of May way more than just minus 3%, considering that I'm risking 2% on my personal capital, 2% on profit challenges, sometimes 1% on funded accounts, sometimes not, 1% on funded accounts exactly. I ended up in way more drawdown than actually just minus 3%. Because we need to understand that the more trades we take, the more commissions we need to pay, and most of the times the more swaps we need to pay as well. So more commissions and more expenses we need to pay. And specifically, if we have a bad trading month, as I did on May, then it goes way, way deeper than people actually think, unless they trade broker and they trade personal capital and they start realizing these factors. Initially, when I was just backtesting, I was like, oh, I took 2,000 trades in 1 year as an example, and I had 284 R in profit. That's bullshit. That's not real. We need to actually subtract a huge amount, and I'm not just kidding, I'm literally being serious. We need to subtract a huge amount of that profit in terms of considering that we need to pay commissions and swaps and many more expenses that we can't actually measure by backtesting. It's only live trading, taking the trades on your personal capital, on your personal broker. So this was the first thing. So the first factor, realize, okay, I'm taking a lot of trades. I need to calm down. I need to actually go back into my initial approach, which is a little bit more conservative. Then I just started trading. Then you guys can see in June, it was when I drastically changed my approach. Not my approach in terms of how I trade. Like I didn't change, for example, to trade support, like my swing trading approach to support and resistance or ICT. No. I was trading exactly the same, but just a little bit more conservative. So a little bit bigger of ranges. And as you guys can see, I ended up the month of June in 8.5 R. It was my second best month of the year. And when I finished this month and throughout the month, despite of course losing in a lot of winning trades and missing out on opportunities and stuff where people that was trading aggressively maybe made more money, and I actually made a video. I'm gonna maybe link it here or here, I don't know where it's gonna say the link, but I'm gonna link a video where I actually explain that I was pissed and I was angry after this month because in my mind I just said, okay, I changed my approach from aggressive to conservative, and because I changed that approach, now specifically the month I changed it, it's when the aggressive approach worked the best. So I was pissed, I was angry, and I was like, no way. I decided to change things specifically in the month when everything worked out for an aggressive approach. And being serious with you guys, yeah, maybe by trading aggressively, I would have made more money on June than I actually did by being more conservative. But I didn't understand the benefit of actually trading a little bit more passive, a little bit more conservative later on in the year. Then a new month came, which was July, and look at this. I came from June angry, pissed at myself because I decided to change my approach and be a little bit more conservative. So what did I do? I literally came back and fucking spammed every single trade I saw. I took it. I took every single trade I found. Look at how many trades I took. Maybe even more than the amount of trades I took on May. And what happened? Despite taking a lot of trades, boom, -1 R in paper. And again, same thing. By understanding that I lost -1 R in paper, the reality is that I lost way, way more in actual live trading results. I don't have the exact number because I change my percentages. I trade different risks in platform challenges and funded accounts and personal capital. But it was way more than 1%. If I had to do a random guess, it will be -5 or -6%, which is crazy. And I'm being fully honest with you guys because that's my main purpose with actually documenting my journey. So what happened then? When we go back in here, I said, okay, you know what? Let's actually realize and understand something. How many break-evens I had on July? A bunch, right? Bunch of break-evens. And how many wins? A bunch. And then that's when my risk management approach changed. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm realizing that I'm taking a lot of break-even trades and I'm also winning a couple of times, but I'm taking more break-evens than actual winning trades. So why I just don't start testing and taking trades 1-to-1 risk reward? And as you guys can see, at the beginning of the month, I started taking 1-to-1 risk reward. So my full profit was a 1-to-1, and that's when kind of like I decided, and I posted a video to my YouTube channel where I said, okay, I'm going to start taking 1-to-1 full profit, and that's what I'm going to start doing from now on. I created a video, posted it, and a lot of you guys said, oh, you should just stick to 1-to-3 on my Instagram and DMs. You should just stick to 1-to-3. Trust your system, trust your edge. 1-to-3 is way better than 1-to-1, etc. But I based and chose to stick to this new approach of one-on-one based on data that I've collected and I've gathered before in my backtesting sessions. And the actual change was supported with profitable data, and it made sense. And I've been saying to you guys multiple times, if you want to do something, if you want to tweak something in your system, make sure you have data to prove and to support your change. And I had every single one of the proofs, or I had every single support I needed to actually make the change, and it was a valid change. But in reality, I actually realized, starting on August, as you guys can see, I went back to 1, 2, 3 risk reward. It's that I started to shift a bunch of times from being aggressive to being conservative to taking 1, 2, 3 risk reward profit or 1-to-1 risk reward, because I was starting to lose my consistency. And when I say consistency, is being able to replicate the same thing in the long run. And my backtesting data has good results with a 1-to-3 risk reward. So I said, yo, you know what? I know what I'm doing. I know that I'm profitable. I know that I am a consistent trader. I know that I'm being able to pass profit challenges, being able to get multiple payouts. Why I'm not able to actually stick to what I know it works? And also understanding that I still want to pass more challenges. I still want to get funded with more capital and get more capital in my funding. Trading with a 1-to-1, it's not something that actually makes sense if we want to think about passing profit challenges. And I said, okay, you know what? 1-to-1 might work, and it's maybe something super good to apply on my live trading, like my personal broker, so my personal account, or maybe in funded accounts to just take 1-to-1 profits, quick profits, secure payouts, and that's it. But on funded accounts, in challenges, it doesn't make too much sense, because we need to make 10%. And I've made a couple of videos about this, which is, if we understand 10% is a lot. The S&P 500 in average does between 8 to 12%, if I'm not wrong, per year, in average based on this last 40 years. So imagine we need to make 10%. That's not something easy. A lot of people make it seem like it's super, super easy. It is not. And if I think that I need to make 10% by just taking 1-to-1 profit, so profit at 1R, despite even risking 2%, I need to win a lot of trades. When actually in reality, I can be a little bit more aggressive with my risk management approach, no with my actual trading approach. I can be a little bit more aggressive by risking still 2% or whatever I want to risk, but taking 3R profit, which is, if I take 2 trades, 2 winning trades by risking 2%, I pass the account in just 2 trades. And I just need 2 consecutive winning trades. And this is way easier, and it makes more sense based on my data and based on my win rate. So I said, you know what? Let's go back. Let's understand what worked for me at the beginning of the year, what I was doing. I was trading a little bit more conservative. I was taking less trades, which at the same time helps me be less attached to the charts. I don't have to be stick and glued to the screen, setting new pending orders. It's easier for me to manage how many trades I'm going to take, what trades I'm going to take on each account, or how am I going to actually organize my trades based on not taking uncorrelated pairs in one account, just taking all correlated pairs in one single account, the other trades in the other accounts, and being able to be a little bit more organized with my Miro. I'm going to show you real quick, like something like this. Let me actually open it. So being able to kind of organize, right? Like the trades like this, right? A little bit more organized, and being able to actually understand what I'm doing without having to be glued to a screen. Also, I can manage my life way better. I have more time to go to bed earlier. I was literally taking 1 hour to set all my pending orders. Now I take 15 minutes, 20 minutes as a max. That helps me be actually more comfortable in understanding that I don't need to take too many trades to get profitable results. I just need to have a risk management that makes sense to pass my profit challenges, to make profit in my funded accounts, to increase my capital in my personal capital, my personal brokerage or whatever, and at the same time keep executing something that works by finding A+ setups, not taking every single setup I see, every breakup structure, because that it's not something sustainable. Imagine when I have kids. Imagine when I have a wife. Imagine when I can't be glued to a screen every single time. When I have other businesses, I need to have something that it's easier to manage. And by taking 50 trades a month, which is around 2.5 trades per day, that's not something I can actually manage consistently in the long run. So that's basically the main reason why I decided to go back to 1 to 3 years reward. Wanted to make this video to make things super simple, super clear for you guys to understand, because you've made a couple of questions about it. So the Esteban Rosal, the Rosal trading that traded 1 to 3 years reward is back. The Rosal trading that traded a little bit more conservative, it's also back. You guys are not going to see those aggressive ranges that doesn't make too much sense. I'm going to be more conservative. You guys are going to be seeing more high quality setups, which is actually what helped me become funded. So yeah, I'm just 100% sure this is the beginning of something great. New consistency and more consistency going to arrive to my trading performance, and you guys are going to see with your own eyes. I'm 100% sure you're going to see how my results are going to drastically increase and get much better from now on. So I wanted to make this video to keep everything super simple, and that was all for this video. If you guys have any actual advice, any actual recommendations, I know if you guys have told me multiple times to maybe start evaluating if taking partials is a good idea. If you guys think that's a good idea, let me know in the comments, and that's the main purpose for us, you and me, to become the best profitable traders, the best successful traders in this world, by sharing everything with full transparency, and of course you guys joining me throughout this journey. So that was all for this video, and see you in the next one. Take care.